Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the 7Hz Crinacle Salnotes Dioko, which is quite a mouthful. These are a planar, and there he is. There's Crinacle's logo, so it's a collaboration. And yeah, I'd like to thank Linsol for sending this sample to me. Thank you very much. I was obviously not paid to this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yes, a planar and 2-pin. So before this, 7Hz did the timeless, which is a great planar one, and this is something similar for a cheaper price and different tuning. So yeah, let's just get into it. So close look at the box. As you can see, it's the Crinacle collaboration. Obviously that's tuned a little probably a bit different to what it obviously would have been. It's to suit more kind of his target. 1st of 2022, whatever that means. And yeah, let's have a look. So that's a nice case. That's pretty good. It's a bit big to carry around, but wow, what a nice carry case. So let's see what you got from the top. Bunch of silicone tips. Seem to have very similar bores. Specs, so on the back. So I guess 16 ohm impedance, 106 decibels sensitivity, that's actually quite sensitive. 14.6 millimeter driver, 0.78 2-pin, 5 to 40,000 hertz, which is a lot. User manual there, which should just be common sense. And let's check these bad boys out. So it already comes with 2 tips already fitted. You can see what they look like. So cable 3.5. Obviously I'll unravel this later on when I get to use them, but it's like a really crazy oval. It has a little purple tint to them, as you can see there, which is like what the timeless had. There's something very similar. And I have the timeless next to me, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so both of these are the left unit, so quite a bit different. This is quite large. I'll have to see what the comfort's like. So on the side, again, this is all very different. So yeah, quite intrigued. So I'm going to put a bunch of hours on these, graph them as usual, because some of the early ones have I think the wrong filters fitted, so they're not dampened correctly. So I'll have to see if mine here are affected or not. So yeah, see you in the future. Yeah, so welcome to my review section of the 7Hz Salnotes Crinacle Dioko, which is quite a mouthful. Now I apologise for this kind of being delayed. I've had these for a few weeks, and as this was an early version of these, they were sent out with the wrong filters. You know what I'm probably talking about. So I had to wait for them to be sent out, but they actually forgot to send them out, so I had to remind them. Then they got sent out, then I fitted them, and now we are here. So sorry for the delay. It should have took less time, but anyway, this is what they send you. If you're watching this video and you want to buy them now, you haven't got to worry about this at all. This is for the first 150 units. So if you're buying this from a shop now, don't have to worry about this. They've already, it's all fixed. But it came with tweezers. It came with these, the grill part and the filter. So all you have to do is basically tweezers, take the metal grill out there and the filter bar and the foam, and that's it. It's like 5 minutes of your time. So yeah, that's why I'm late. So I apologise. So let's talk about comfort. So here's the left unit. So these obviously the timeless. Everybody knows these, both planar. This is like half the price of that. You can see they are vastly different. Now, comfort, look at the actual difference. You can say the massive difference. But so what was actual comfort like? It's better than I expected, but I think some people it may be a problem. These things are huge, as you can see. But I was actually okay with it. It wasn't that secure, but it was comfortable enough, so you have to bear that in mind. So yeah, obviously let's just go over the aesthetics. So 2-pin, which is great, as you just saw the MMCX on the Timeless. Obviously there's the nozzle length is fine. Obviously that's the gauze you saw before, and that's it. This is meant to be like some kind of special glass, like meant to be more like scratch resistant, but these do look really nice in the flesh. So, and that's it. Very simple. A couple of vents there, vent there, but yeah, I was quite happy with them. So let's talk about powering them and sensitivity. These are noticeably harder to power than I was expecting. So make sure you have a decent source. So just bear that in mind. So if your source is weak, don't bother. Think a decent audio adapter, at least, you know, kind of those long. You don't need anything balanced, I don't think, but you want to throw a bit more power at these than you normally expect. So yeah, let's talk about technical performance. These have amazing technical performance, and I'll include micro details in here. These are the best I've heard for $99. So sheer details, micro details. The driver is amazing, I think, for the price. Not the sound signature, that's different, I'll get to that, but how I think sheer detail works, these are very good, and probably, yeah, they're probably the best I've heard for $99. They beat DDs in my opinion for what they do for the performance. Not the overall sound, because that's a tuning kind of thing, but these are really good for that. They do have some issues in a bit, but I'll explain that. And yeah, I'll talk about stage and imaging before going on. So soundstage, it had good enough width, but the depth felt lacking and the height felt lacking. I think some people overplay this, how it works. As long as it didn't sound like super claustrophobic in your head, it's fine. But I was quite happy with what they are. Again, these are $99, and I was more than happy with it, really. So sound, so this is one of the big things about these. So I'm going to overlay the graph now of my new measurement and the old measurement. And yes, so as you can see, I have fixed the sub bass. So these are sub bass focused over mid bass, which for I think the common person who uses these is not the way to tune them. Everybody likes a bit of sub bass, but more music is mixed with mid bass, upper bass into the mids. This really lacks it. So for my music, I typically like electronic music, but I do like a variety. It lacks the hits, like the slam, but it just do the deep notes, as you can see from the sub bass. So I'm a bit mixed with the actual bass performance. Obviously you can use some EQ to do that, but out of the box they are probably not what I prefer. Obviously this is Crinacle's take on it, so it is what it is. I know he prefers the leaner low end with a sub bass elevation, and that is exactly what these are. Not typically for me, but that's what it is. Obviously because it's planar, the bass is fast. So mids, I found them very clean. Again, I think the female vocals is a little bit more forward than male because it's just so lean in the lower part, but they do sound so clean. Everything's there, because these are not V-shaped or nothing like that. I think the mids are great, really. I think some people didn't like them, but for my use case, I do like what they are. They just lack body because the bass, the lack of bass, really. No, not mid bass. But it's tuned as it's tuned. If you don't like it, you can EQ. But I do like the mids. They're not perfectly for what I want, but I do appreciate the quality of them. Now, treble region, which is the big thing, as you can see. The biggest thing the dampener did, the filter did, was calm the lower treble, as you can see. Now, it makes it an easier listen, but it doesn't solve everything. It makes it an easier listen, and the new filters are better, because it was too aggressive before, kind of harsh. Now, it is now much better. It's still a little bit harsh, but it seems to be further up. But yeah, it's a shame that they released it with the wrong ones, but again, it's only a very small batch of quality control, so it is what it is. But yeah, treble thumbs are very clear instruments, like I said before, super clean, detailed. But I did find it they can be fatiguing for longer periods. The 8K is obviously resonance peak, but I think like further up when you get to 10, it sounded sharp just above that. But yeah, these are definitely don't roll off, and they've got really good extension again, which is great for $99. These are great for what they are. Just depends if they're tuned for what you like. I think the tuning is probably a little bit off, but yeah, sheer treble performance was good. I would prefer it again, smoother, lower treble, upper mid range for me. But the new filters they do help a lot. So, and yeah, I don't want to waffle on too long because it gets too long. In conclusion, do I recommend these? Kind of a 50-50. Now, how they're tuned on the graph, as you can see, is I would have done it differently. I think it needed more mid bass punch to them, because that's what more music tends to have mixed in. And I think the treble is a bit fatiguing further up. I think the treble needs it a bit more smoothing off, and probably a little bit more bass to suit the common person, because these are tuned super lean. Now, anybody who's an enthusiast will understand the tuning, but somebody who's just a general consumer probably won't like, especially the bass response, because it sounds like it's lacking. And that's it really. They do work quite well. They are massive. I think a smaller shell would help. Like I said, here's something like the Aria, which is conventional. You know, these things are massive. Obviously the Timeless again. Now the Timeless on the inner part are large. It's all more like the outer part looks big. But yeah, I think they're not a bad set. It's just the tuned out the box, not to what I'd like and probably to what a lot of people will like. But then again, if you are quite good at using an EQ, they can do that. And obviously you need to throw some power at them as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, they're a good set, but there's some flaws, and the tuning's probably not right for most consumers. So that's what it is. Not a bad set, but a bit of work. And yeah, if you know anything particular, as usual, let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. Take care, and see you in the next video.